Happy Tuesday morning. We've got obviously some new articles coming out, and a lot of them are coming across as well, just call it spade to spade, kind of negative. And amidst that, as you know, the mortgage broker reads the newspaper, I always want to take a little bit of a deeper dive into some of the metrics on this and also some of the opportunities that I'm seeing right now. I mean, Warren Buffett obviously has an infamous saying, we'll get into deeper on that, but I see this as actually a sweet opportunity and an opportunity to look at and criticize, kind of where has this happened and what happened, where we've been in the past and where does this maybe look for our future. So let's shrink my massive head and look at some of the articles and figure out what the hell is James mumbling about. And we've got this one that's just released in Toronto Life, where homebuyers may have to wait a year for the market to rebound. The Toronto Realtor is explaining the brutal trolls. And where I want to first start off onto this one is it's hyper focused on the Toronto condos, which was already sluggish before we had the tariffs coming in. And of course, we're seeing it basically decimate a lot of the Toronto condo market, right? So, we're seeing some of these existing resales going for 1,000 square foot, where some of the new builds were trying to sell at $1,500 a square foot. How the hell would that make any sense? Well, they're trying to really allow for a lot of the costs that are imposed by the city, right? So a lot of the permitting, construction costs, what we call soft costs, can take anywhere from 25 to 35% of the unit cost, which if we're running the math on that would take a $1,500 cost to bring it down closer to the actual resale. So I think the city gets a little more insight of the fact that their fees are really the ones that's crushing a lot of this. Hopefully they'll have some awareness and make some longer and less short-sighted decisions. So whenever I'm seeing clients reading these potential articles and they're looking and saying home buyers may have to wait for the market to rebound, what? Sorry, are you saying that we should wait for condo prices in a year to go back up to then purchase? Doesn't that sound a little asinine and backwards? Don't I want to buy things when they're on sale? Yeah, yeah. So let's take a look historically, because maybe as you very well may know or not, this is not the first time we've had tariffs in place with Trump. So if we take a look back, what happened as far as housing the last time that Trump tariffed Canada. I mean, I know this, but in 2018, we did see a tariff put in place by then President Donald Trump. Now, it wasn't as broad and it wasn't to the full 25%. So we have to recognize in economics that there's certain assumptions we always have to make. But there are definitely some conclusions and similarities that we can draw from. On this one, we take a look and we see that Zoocasa was reporting that in December of 2018, Canada saw only about 22,000 sales. By May, so 6 months later, activity had more than doubled, with back up to 54,600 sales. So whenever I'm reading articles saying that homeowners might have to wait a year for the market to come up, cool. So we're going to wait until sales go back up to doubling. We're going to wait. Right now we're in a sweet ass buyer's market. You're going to wait till it becomes what, a balanced market or a seller's market. If I'm a buyer, now is probably the damn best time that I'm able to negotiate on an outstanding terms of a closing, both on price, conditions. If I'm negotiating with builders, I can get things like free parking or at least a free locker, minimized deposits onto there, free upgrades. We're also seeing a lot of them offering free appliances, things that we would have paid a crazy amount for 3-4 years ago. Now these builders are willing to negotiate and offer these crazy incentives. So whether you're looking at buying resale or on a new build, when it's on sale is when I want to be buying. So I'm actually ironically bullish on that side and negotiating some crazy opportunities. We were never able to get a builder to amend or augment any purchase and sale agreement. It was essentially, I'm the only game in town. You don't like it, too bad. We're going on to the next buyer. But now we're able to negotiate incredible things such as low as 5 or 10% deposits. We're also negotiating to have guaranteed rents into there. I mentioned lockers, parking, not quite free, but definitely good sales on that. And on the retail side or resale of existing homes, we're able to negotiate, if you want, things like home inspection, condition of financing, also negotiations as far as multiple visits onto there. We also want to keep in mind, one of my favorite sayings is that we marry the purchase price, which at present in a buyer's market is pretty sweet, and we date the rate. So we also expect the market to continue to come down. We know with the tariffs, we're expecting that the overnight or prime, as we know, is to further come down. We just saw a massive injection last week of over $3 billion of GICs sold in US funds in Canada, and they were swept up like that. It means two things. One, with all that demand coming into Canada, that is a positive sign. It means that foreign and international money has positive expectations on Canada and the rebound. It also means that since we're selling in American dollars, we're expecting the Canadian dollar to improve and strengthen so that when we do buy these back, we're buying basically at a discount. So we're taking a look at those. I always again want to come back to the famous quote, buy when there's blood in the streets, even if it's your own, is what Warren Buffett always said. And I want to make sure that if you have clients or you yourself are reading any of these articles, that we take a look to history, take a look at what happened to the marketplace at that time, and remind ourselves that when things are on sale, we want to be buying them. I'm James Lowen. Hope you have yourself a fantastic week. Until next time, ciao.